Hi everybody. Today we're going to learn how to run Manifold Viewer in languages other than English. And the same commands, the same instructions apply identically to Radiant Studio, which is exactly the same way. We're looking at a Windows 10 desktop here, and on the right we see a File Explorer session open that shows a file, ui.de.txt, which we downloaded from the Manifold Viewer in a Radiant Studio website. That's the user interface file for DE, which is German, Deutschland.txt. On the left we see a typical installation of Manifold Viewer. This happens to be a portable installation, but if you installed Manifold Viewer or Radiant Studio through the Windows installer method, you'd see a similar situation in your C program files folder, where there'd be a bin64 folder and a bin folder. To see what these are, the bin folder has an executable that will launch Manifold and Viewer in 32 bits. And the bin64 has manifold.exe, which will launch it in as a 64-bit application. To run it in German, it's very easy. You just take this file here, which we downloaded from the web, copy, and paste it, and we're done. If we're running Windows in German is key to these extensions like .de or whatever, the symbols for the various languages. So when manifold.exe launches, Windows running in German, it'll automatically take this file and use all the German language strings. If you open up the file in Notepad, as we do here, you can see that it has all these different translations into German. So it'll use that. Now, suppose we're running Windows in English, as I'm doing here for this video, and I'd like to force it to launch in German, because when we're running Windows in English and we're launching Manifold Viewer, what it's doing is it's looking for a ui.en file. So that's an English text file. That's easy to do. We just take this file here, copy it, paste it, and here we'll rename this ui.en.txt. So we're telling the system that this file here is full of the text strings that should be used with English language Windows. They're actually all German, but the system doesn't know that. It takes our word for it that it's an English language file. So now when we launch Manifold Viewer, you can see that it's doing everything in German. So for example, .datei for file, we can open books.map and open the employees folder, and you can see there's all these different Bearbeiten for edit, transformieren, suchen, and so forth. So Hilfe for help. So let's close that. That'd be binden. My German is pretty weak, so I'm not going to venture much further than that. How would we go about making a translation to other languages? Well, that's easy enough to do. We want to get this file here, the default.ui.txt file. And we can either download that from the Manifold website, from the Radiant Studio or the Manifold Viewer website. I'll copy and I'll paste it here so we can work on it here. Or it's also part of every portable installation. When you do a portable installation, it's going to be here, along with the installation text and the license text files, the default UI. And what the default UI file is that gives all the different strings in the different initially in English, and we would translate these into the language we want. So let's say we want to translate this from English into Canadian English. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste. Okay, copy, paste, and let's rename this ui.en.txt so we can later fire it up. And I'm going to open this in one window, and then I'm going to open up the German translation in the other so you can see the difference of what we do. And here in this window, Control F to find. Let's look for edit. And here, Control F, edit. So you can see how the translation process works. Here's a string with the command edit token, and that represents the edit command that's in the main menu. And here in German, that was, instead of edit, it's Bearbeiten. So let's translate this into Canadian. We'll put it, and we'll write this: edit, comma, A, And just for good measure, let's translate the file command as well. Search for file, F-I-L-E. And let's make that file, comma, A. File, save. So now let's take this version of the UI.en file, copy, and we'll put it here in bin64 to overwrite the one that we created earlier. Replace the file in the destination. Yeah, sure, let's do that. And now we launch manifold.exe when we launch viewer. It's translated into Canadian, at least the file in the edit part. So here go, file A. Let's open books again. Employees, and there you go, file A, edit A, exactly as we wrote it here in this translation file. You can apply this to any language. You can translate into whatever language you want. Swedish, Turkish, Abkhazian, name it, and you can do it. There's a bunch of language files that are available that can be translated. Intrepid user Klaus DE on the Manifold forum has translated the German file. That's probably the best translation done to date. That's ui.de. There have been some wonderful contributions for the French translation, ui.fr. There's a good Spanish translation, ui.sp, I believe. No, es for Espanol. And ui.pe for Portuguese. So download those if you speak any of those languages, and you too can see Manifold Viewer or Radiant Studio in your favorite language. Doing a translation file for one, any one of these for doing it for either Radiant Studio or for Manifold Viewer will work in the other. And if some of the strings you don't translate, no problem. They're still going to appear in English. For example, here we didn't bother translating view or tools or window into Canadian. We just did it for file and edit, so those were left in plain old and garden variety in English. But still, just doing a few of the commands and prompts goes a long way towards making the product more usable by people who speak that native language. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and Auf Wiedersehen from Radiantland. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.